Alright, Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory to our power Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shah, Bahasham Rachak, Wadash, double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders at Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect of the tabernacles of David. Scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, and wherever you may be, to I say Shalom, and Shalom. Alright, 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Alright, the word of the name Satan in Hebrew, Shaitan, which means adversary, all right, a false accuser, calumniator. Ignorant means to not know, okay, and his devices, well, is not exactly the main things that we look out for, which are the MOTB, okay, as well as the brain device, referring to Revelation 13, 16, 17. I guess you can throw the 18 in there, but these little few clips here are interesting nonetheless. So we're gonna play it, and we'll just get it rolling with the first one here.
Welcome to the We On podcast, where we explore fascinating stories and ideas from various fields. In this episode, we uncover how artificial intelligence could shatter the world's dependence on lithium, discovering brand new materials that might spark a revolution in batteries, clean energy, and the future of technology. Lithium-ion batteries power almost everything today, from smartphones to electric cars. However, as demand rises, so do concerns about cost, limited supply, and environmental damage caused by mining. According to the International Energy Agency, or IEA, demand for lithium is expected to grow by over 400% by 2030. This has pushed researchers to search for alternative materials that are more sustainable and easier to produce.
And I want to actually, let me see here. See if I can pull my AI thing back up. I want to ask a question real quick. Not sure if we even get the answer, a straight shot here, but we can try. Is lithium used in making? We'll just get it straightforward. Okay, you see it on the screen. Yep. Just gonna get a straight shooter with it. Let's see what they have. No, lithium is not typically used in manufacturing as micro CHIPs. Semiconductor device fabrication primarily utilizes silicon as the base material for wafers, with other minerals like gallium, germanium, and palladium playing crucial roles in specific semiconductor applications and enhancing electrical properties. Lithium, on the other hand, is widely used in the production of Li-ion and Li metal rechargeable batteries, often in the form of chips or foils with high purity. So when it says batteries, is like electrical vehicles. Could that be a battery they're referring to? Not the only, but one of. Not sure. While both microchips and batteries are vital electronic components, they're fundamental. Because of course, you can also think about regular batteries, right? You buy from the store, AA, AAA, D, C batteries, stuff like that. Okay, watch batteries, whatever. Their fundamental material requirements differ significantly. The Chips and Science Act of 2022, for instance, focuses on boosting semiconductor manufacturing, but does not include support for minerals like lithium, as its primary application is not in microchip production, but rather in see, there you go. There's my answer right there. There's my answer. In electric vehicle batteries, okay, which are addressed by legislation such as the Inflation Reduction Act, the IRA. But what I really was wondering, about the CHIP, right? Was that maybe a component using CHIP? So the answer is no there. But I was right about the EVs, okay? So, and we know how they've been kind of slowly pushing like these Teslas and stuff like that. If I'm correct, China has a better version of electric vehicles than Elon Musk, okay? But you're not going to hear about it because I believe they sell them over there in one of those places in Russia. I believe they, Russians buy them. If I'm correct, I can't remember because China does a lot. Referring to the the Belt and Roads Initiative is one thing, but then there's other things that China does, trying to put themselves on the map in like the same position as in Babylon the Great. Okay, they're trying to be the next Babylon the Great with the Chinese version.
Now, a team at the New Jersey Institute of Technology, or NJIT, has developed an artificial intelligence framework that may hold the answer. Their study, published in Cell Reports Physical Science, reveals 5 new materials that could eventually replace lithium in future batteries. Traditional research on battery chemistry is slow and expensive. Scientists usually test one material at a time, which can take years. The NJIT team created an AI tool that can scan and analyze massive databases of chemical compounds. According to the report, this AI is able to identify potential candidates 100 times faster than conventional lab testing. Lead author Professor Arun Kumar explained that the AI looks for materials with high energy storage potential, stability, and low environmental impact. Using this method, it flagged 5 promising options that had never been considered before. The researchers believe these new materials could work in sodium-based or potassium-based batteries, both of which are cheaper and more widely available than lithium. If these materials are proven effective, they could change the battery industry entirely. Sodium and potassium are far more abundant.
Oh, see, so he just mentioned their batteries, all right? So, but we already got an answer because we just, searched it out.
Than lithium, which means cheaper and more sustainable batteries. Professor Kumar said in the NJIT press release that this approach opens a new path for energy storage research, combining AI speed with human expertise to find solutions faster. Experts note that while more testing is needed, this discovery could help reduce global dependence on lithium and support the growth of electric vehicles and renewable energy storage. The research highlights how AI is becoming a powerful tool for solving some of the world's most urgent technological challenges.
Okay, it kind of dropped off real quick. So the video wasn't as heavy as I thought, but like I said, this is one of those heavy AI chats here. Just some interesting things that I saw, and these next two actually, I forgot about because I saw them. I believe I went back the other day because I remembered that I had something, but I looked at the wrong 2 videos, so I was wondering why they were old. But I confused myself because the ones I was looking for were at the bottom of the set aside videos. So here's another one of those interesting things, and you see what it says here: Animal Internet. Who let the dogs on the line? All right, now who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs on the line? So check this one out.
Our next story will leave you asking, who let the dogs online? Because fetching and playing ball is so last decade. Today's dogs are video calling their owners. And I'm not making this up, and I have more. Parrots are tracking their online friends and making calls too. Monkeys are playing around with media centers, demanding soothing sounds and videos with a single tap. So what is all this monkey business about? Apparently it has a name. It's called Animal Internet. What is it? And what's the...
And this is Esau's world, man. So when he speaks about a digital age, all right, I don't think some people understand the extent into what he really means when he says that, okay? Because this man wants to achieve total dominance, like my man said, total control. He wants total control, okay? He wants total world dominance, right? Which means enslaving everybody on the earth, even his own people, okay? He wants to bring forth digital technology, which is a way he's going to enslave the earth, and along with that, a heavy state of surveillance, okay, and then the third thing is in hopes of achieving immortality by fabricating the birthright. You see, let me give me a second. I'm gonna move up a little bit. This is the area right here. Give me 2 seconds, y'all. Key fob. Just bear with me a couple ticks. But yeah, this is Esau's, well, not really Esau's world, but Esau's world as it is of right now. Okay, and what he wants to do is establish a so-called new world based off digital technology. Okay, and that's his way to achieve his so-called world dominance, his new so-called new age, and so on and so forth. Okay, he wants to do that through his digital technology because that's the way that he enslaves everybody on the planet. Right now, but back to this. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll ask a question in a second. Let's keep it on for now. Oh wait, hold on. Let me separate this thing from where'd he go? So you can hear it.
And what's the point of it? Also, what does the pet tech market look like today? Here's a report.
Sure, this is the so-called texting generation, but who doesn't like a good video call? Turns out animals do too. From cats and dogs to parrots and monkeys, all kinds of animals are enjoying it. And this has become part of what's being called the animal internet.
In which that's nothing new. You've seen animals, it'll be other animals on the screen. They'll sit down in front of it and be looking at it like, well, what's going on here? Okay. So they're interested because they see, I guess you could say themselves, because it might be another dog, or it could be a cat, or I don't know, a rat, or whatever, a bat or something. But, you've seen animals, do that. All right.
As you know, the internet consists of interconnected networks, which can facilitate communication. Traditionally, it has been centered around humans. But in recent years, some scientists are bringing animals into the loop. Around the world, researchers are using digital technology to create products that can revolutionize communication between animals. The tech is still under development, but there is progress, including dog phones, which enable pet dogs to contact their owners. The phone is actually an electronic ball with a sensor inside it. When it senses movement, like if the ball is shaken or picked up, it triggers a video call from the laptop between the pet and the owner. Both parties can call each other, choose to pick up the call, or even ignore it.
Now, what person in their right mind want them dog calling them, via tennis ball or whatever? Okay, while they sitting in the cubicle, all right, tapping away at the keyboard, and your dog's calling you, all right, your cat's meowing on the screen. Like, I mean, like, what's wrong with these people, man? But this is the crazy stuff that it's created with technology, man. Okay, hello, there you go. The water you have a shot. We can actually, I'll leave that. I might want to get that again. I'm not sure. Well, wait a minute. Shoot, man, that's been a while. I'm gonna have to find this. It's got to be somewhere after 6, moving into 7. Yeah, Johnson Earth. Da, da, da. Yep, I think it's around 8 or 9 somewhere. It's got to be what I'm looking for. Just bear with me a few ticks. Okay, yeah, the earth is still flooded. So in 9, yep, there we go. Okay, in Genesis 9 and 1. And God blessed Noah and his sons and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, replenish the earth. Here's the point in verse 2. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered. Okay, every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. Well, and we don't need that verse. Now, I believe there's another one when we go further back, when the flood was starting up. Because he gave them power to get all the animals. Okay. Or I might be thinking about because I know I just read that one in Genesis 9. If it's not around here, I might just be thinking about Adam, because that was the same thing with Adam. All right, he was given power over the beast. Okay, and it just, and to make the point, because if you're wondering like, well, where is he going with this? The point that I'm making is, okay, when the kingdom is established, we're not going to need video conference calls, okay, with the puppy. Okay, you will be able to communicate, right, with these animals. All right, and every animal is going to live at peace. I forget where that chapter is. I almost want to say that's in Zechariah, but I might be wrong. I believe it's probably another chapter. Where it says, matter of fact, let me see if I can find that before I forget it. Yeah, so I probably read the one that I wanted, but we also mentioned Adam. Man, is it the lion shall lie? I can't remember exactly how it's worded. Maybe we'll. Okay, but really, that technology is just that's Esau's brain. Esau wants to know what everything and everybody. That's why you see ants with a camera on it. Okay, bumblebee. There's either a mechanical bumblebee or it's got something falling around. Tags on wild animals on the ears, cameras on the back. Got a camera on the antlers. Now I've never seen that. I'm just making a joke here, but that's what Esau does. All right, he'll track a family of sperm whales or orca whales or something like that. All right, track where they're going, put a camera on them because they can't go down there in the deep. Okay, so they'll put a camera maybe or something like that and go down as far as they can. Just all kinds of madness with Esau. He wants to track and know everything, but that's him trying to play God. Is that it right here, Isaiah? Yeah, I believe that's Isaiah right there. The wolf also shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf and the young lion and the fatling together, and the little child shall lead them. And the cow and the bear shall feed, their young ones shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox. And the suckling child shall play on the holy the asp, and the weaned child shall put his hand on the cockroach's den. And you're not going to have to worry about your little children in the kingdom. There's one more I'm just thinking about. Actually, that's referring to the destruction, but there's a point that can be made from there. Job 5, or is it 5? Or it might be yeah, I believe it might be here. Yeah, see? At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beast of the earth, for thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beast of the field shall be at peace with thee. So Esau wants to know what your dog is thinking, and you communicate with the dog and call its owner and all that stuff. Look, man, you're doing too much, okay? You're trying to be the most, well, I guess that's what he's trying to do anyways, but because it's hard to say that. Well, he's trying to be the most high, but it's on a level that most of, regular people of society don't clearly understand what this man is trying to do, let alone even understand his plan in the first place. But he wants the ultimate surveillance over all because that gives him that so-called the God complex, that he is God, that he sees all, he knows all, he communicates with all, he controls all right? And it's going to be by the flip of a switch of a C-hip, see? So he's just doing, way too much here. And that's all the point I wanted to make from there. Just a couple thoughts there. Let's just play the video.
And that's not all. Scientists have developed a media center for monkeys in zoos. They can use it to get soothing sounds, smells, and video images on demand.
Speaking of monkeys, those were what we used before Muskie, all right, got the go-ahead for human testing. Okay, he was testing on them. All right, they were playing Pong with their brain. Okay, probably had them thinking they were going to get a banana. All right, if you play the game right or something, I don't know. I'm just making up stuff, just being funny. But yeah, I mean, he tested on the animals, which is the same thing when it comes to the C-hip. Okay, it was originally tested on, I don't want to say exactly dogs, but I believe it was dogs. Okay, that tracking device, and then they started to put it into the not the forearm, but the whatever it's called, where you your bicep, where you make the muscle in your arm, but on the back side, all right below your shoulder. Okay, they started to put it into the human arm testing, and that was way back then. Okay, and now they're still continuing. Okay, with the same testing of the device, but it's in the point of where they're ready to be in the stage of completion. So they're doing all the testing because they need human testing to get it right. Because animal testing will only take them so far. We need to know how this thing acts and reacts with humans. Okay, so they had to get the go ahead. Without perfecting it with the animals, they got the go ahead to do it with the humans because they're at the end of their rope here. Okay, so they need to go ahead and perfect their technology. And that just it is what it is. All right, that's just part of the prophecy. Okay, so let's play this some more.
There is something for birds as well, specifically parrots. They typically socialize within large flocks when they are in the wild. So as pets, they can get lonely, especially when left alone. They can tap special touch screens with their tongues to connect with other parrots that are online.
And the funniest thing about this, if these devils did not, that's crazy. Because what they've done, which they've even done it to us, human zoos, right? They've taken the animals out of their natural habitat and given them an artificial one. Why do you think we have aquariums? Aquariums are, which I love aquariums. It's a beautiful, I always like going to aquariums, okay, because I like the marine life. But aquariums are artificial habitats for their actual environment. See? So they have animals that need to swim a certain miles and stretch their, like we stretch our legs, which they stretch their fins, right? And go and swim this there, go here, go there, go certain places, and and migrate. And they can't do that because they've been placed into this artificial habitat. And then they did the same thing with what? Zoos. They taking the animals out of the natural habitat and put them in artificial habitats, man. You see? And people go there and, oh, it's yippee, ooh, let's go to the zoo, let's go to the aquarium. No, the devil put the animals in artificial habitat, man. Okay? No animal should be locked up in a zoo behind a cage, for people to view, and they make money off of it. But no, the devil put them in it in a zoo instead of them being in a natural habitat. The devil took the animals out the waters and put them in an artificial habitat, aquarium. See? When the animals should be free. But that's the devil for you, to make a dollar, to make a buck, man. Okay? So you get the point that I'm trying to make here. Let's continue.
And voila, they can.
Oh, but the close up a thought though, if they were in their natural habitats, they wouldn't have a need for everything they're talking about right now. Oh, they feel lonely or whatever. Well, if they were with the other birds, they wouldn't feel lonely then, would they? But instead, they're in some person's house in a cage. All right. So, you get it.
Help a distant friend. The pet tech market is not new, but it has been centered around owners. Now, with inventions in the animal internet, it is slowly changing. As part of a booming global market, estimated to be worth about $10 billion. This comes at a time when artificial intelligence is making major breakthroughs in understanding animal language. Large AI models are sorting through millions of recorded animal vocalizations and trying to decipher everything from rodent and whale noises to pig grunts and bat squeaks. Then there are devices that help with pet caregiving, like dog activity trackers that calculate how much time pets spend on playing, resting, even licking and scratching. There are innovative cat flaps.
And who wants to know that? Just then I'm thinking about it. Who wants to know that? How many times a cat's licking a fur off his arm or whatever off his back, and it's like, that's crazy, man. So when you think about something like this, it's not so far-fetched when you think about what they're trying to do with people, man. Monitor you all the time, track you everywhere, know all your information, your personal, your medical, and anything else, records, right? And they're pushing for what? A digital identity. And eventually, that digital identity is going to transfer to their digital system by way of that CHIP, okay? Because that's what it's headed to. But I mean, this is madness, right? These guys are just a mad scientist, man.
Use microchips to register when the pet is inside the home.
Let me go back real quick.
Native cat flaps that use microchips to register when the pet. There are innovative cat flaps that use microchips to register when the pet is inside the home.
Okay.
And of course, who can forget the dog soundboards? They are made up of multicolored plastic buttons on the floor, with each disc emitting a word when the dog presses it. Many say that it helps the dog communicate with the owner, but the jury is still out on it.
What's the problem?
So no matter how you look at it, technology for pets has become increasingly popular. And people are willing to spend more money on their animal friends, with a global pet industry poised to hit about $500 billion by 2030.
And you got people out there that love their animals more than they love another person, man.
And this makes the animal internet an even bigger hype. It is not just about feeding and grooming animals anymore. It is also about meeting their social needs. Sure, it can sound a little dystopian. So the animal internet promises to give animals more control over their environment. But it also leaves us asking, what's next? A Google Translate for your goldfish?
Yeah, and that gave me a chuckle this morning. I actually laughed at that. But yeah, you ain't lying, man. Okay, a Google Translate for your goldfish, man. But this is the madman at work, okay? Now, I'm not saying this is exactly coming from, the top elite. I'm just speaking more so the technology, man, itself, okay? This is what Edomites do. It says that they accomplish a diligent search Okay, and things are in the power of their hands to do so, man. They got the technology, they got the money, they got the time, okay, to search things like this out. Let's get to this last video clip here.
All right, Albania names the world's first ever AI-powered minister, and she's been tasked with the one job where corruption thrives: government procurement. Meet Diela, not a career lawmaker, not a party loyalist, not even a human. She is an artificial intelligence.
They threw it up there really quick, but it says Diela means son. Okay, and I'm gonna go back and where's that other thing here? Let's see if it you actually tell us the same thing. Come on. Okay, does Diela mean son? It's probably gonna give us that paragraph. See, yes, Dila means son in Albanian. The name Dila is of Albanian origin and directly translates to son. This meaning is consistently referenced across various sources discussing the AI system developed in Albania. The AI system Dila, developed by the National Agency for Information Society of Albania, AKSI, right, was introduced in January 2025 as a virtual assistant for the eAlbania platform. You see, everybody got digital stuff, right? eAlbania. Its name, meaning son, reflects its intended role in bringing transparency, transparency, and clarity to public services and government operations. Now, real quick, we're gonna pause right here because the name Dila means son. Now, we know in ancient cultures, you know, back in ancient Babylon and stuff like that, all right, Egypt, all these different places, everybody has some form of sun worship or a god or a goddess, all right, usually a so-called god, right, you know, referring to the sun and their sun worship, okay, and, you know, that's a natural thing with these heathens and their false gods and idols. And I'm not saying this is one of their idols, but I mean, I guess you can call it an idol. But it's interesting that name Dila means son. Dilla was appointed, you know what? Yeah, let's read. Dilla was appointed as Minister for Public Procurements, making it the first AI system globally to hold a cabinet-level government position. Crazy, okay? This appointment was part of broader anti-corruption reforms aimed at aligning Albania with European Union accession requirements, with Prime Minister Edi Rama stating that Dilla would help ensure public tenders will be 100% free of corruption by going digital. Okay, they say by allowing this digital entity here, okay, this is how we free things up from corruption. The AI is represented by an animated avatar. Traditional makes me think about was that the Buddha or something they had? Was that digital? I can't remember what it was because, you know, we go through so many of these things, and that wasn't this year either. I think it was a year or two ago. Anyways, with Albanian actress Anila Bisha providing its likeness and voice. So yeah, the likeness of some woman, all right, being this AI, you know, I don't know, intelligence in a political position. While the name Dilla also has a French origin meaning, wow, worships God. What God though? False God. Okay, worships God. This is unrelated to the Albanian AI system. Sure it isn't. Yeah, that's crazy. See, it's so interesting what, you know, what these people come up with, man. Let's continue.
System and AI robot. Unveiled by Prime Minister Edi Rama as Albania's new Minister for Public Procurement. Dela, which means son in Albanian, will manage and award all public tenders in which the government contracts private companies for various projects. Dela promises transparency, every contract fed into a system, and every bid weighed on data, not backroom deals. Every winner published instantly online. It's meant to slash corruption at the source. But will it work? Critics warn that the system itself will be controlled by humans, civil servants, IT engineers, and political lawmakers. If the code can be tweaked, the door to manipulation remains open. And can DLR, the AI system, handle lobbying, pressure, and even the subtle games that define Balkan politics? For now, Albania has made history, the first country to hand a ministerial job to AI, to artificial intelligence. The promise: clean governance, the risk, another tool in the hand of those already pulling the strings. The world is watching. Will DLR become a weapon against corruption, or just another face of it?
Yeah, so that was the end of that one. All right, not as heavy as the other ones before. Actually, none of them were all that heavy, but we know we made a couple good points there. But yeah, man. As a matter of fact, let's get that since we mentioned that verse. Excuse me. Okay. Actually, yeah, I guess so. It's not as accurate as we would like, but it's all controlled. Because everybody's in on the game plan of a digital system, man. Otherwise, everybody will be gunning for a digital bank. Okay, my enemy across the world is doing the same thing I'm doing. Why is that? You gotta think. Why is that? It ain't just some coincidence. Okay. And I want to 2 Thessalonians 2. Okay, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. All right, now ultimately we know that's Esau, Edom. Okay, but in the videos talking about some other people, but I'm just making an overall point here because we were talking about who's in control in these latter days. All right, who opposes and exalted himself above all that is called the highest or that is worshipped, so that he as the highest sitteth in the temple of the highest, showing himself that he is the Most High, and that's what Esau wants. All right, he wants to be the Most High and control everything like the Most High does. He sees all, hears all, knows all, controls all, and anything else that we couldn't think of at the moment. All right, that's what Esau wants to do, as well as achieve immortality on the left-hand side, which is through his witchcraft, his sorcery, his magic, and his digital technology, man. Okay, so pretty much the name of the game is the devil gotta go. So Lord will you edify to next Yahshua. I'm gonna say shalom.